the contingent that will be selected will not just go as if they are just moving to dance. They are going to go through the International Peace Support Training Center.
Last week, Parliament approved the deployment of UPDF troops to Gaza as Uganda expands its missions abroad. But that approval has since left many questions unanswered. Many Ugandans are questioning how many troops are needed, when do they go, who pays, what exactly is the mission, and for how long. Gaza is no ordinary deployment, and sending soldiers requires courage. But sending them into one of the world's most volatile conflict zones requires clarity. Expect this story to continue shaping the news agenda in the coming days. And still about Uganda's missions abroad, the country has a candidate for the world's biggest diplomatic jobs. President Museveni has endorsed Olara Otunnu for the position of UN Secretary General. Ambassador Otunnu reportedly left for New York at the weekend with his campaign team. The endorsement is done. Now comes the harder assignment of convincing the world that we indeed deserve this position. The biggest question is, can Uganda turn a national endorsement into a global coalition? Over to court. Kizza Besigye's treason trial now faces a question bigger than courtroom procedure. Is he medically fit to continue? After he collapsed in court on July 29th, judges ordered a medical assessment. Questions have also lingered on social media over his whereabouts and his condition. The awaited medical report could now determine what happens next in one of Uganda's most politically sensitive trials. And still in courts, the election is over, but the fight for the seats isn't. The judiciary is preparing to hear 118 election petitions, of which 107 are from Parliament. Some MPs already have their seats, but their opponents want judges to examine how they got there. The campaign trail has ended. The courtroom battle has begun. Away from courts, Uganda marks 2 years since the Kitezi landfill collapse that killed 35 people on August 10, 2024. There were promises of investigations, promises of rehabilitation, and promises of a safer waste management system. 2 years later, one question still matters. What actually changed? Also on August 12th is International Youth Day. Expect the familiar vocabulary of empowerment, skilling, and entrepreneurship in all speeches. And of course, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. But for over 5 million young Ugandans searching for work, that tomorrow appears to be taking its time. All that youth want are the answers to the question, where are the jobs? In business, Bank of Uganda turns 60 this week. The central bank opened its doors in 1966, taking over currency issuance from the East African Currency Board. An anniversary open day is scheduled for Tuesday. This will mark 6 decades of managing inflation, supervising banks, and guarding the shilling. But at 60, we ask, how well is Uganda's central bank navigating today's cost of living pressures and the changing financial system? And in sport, the countdown to AFCON 2027 is gathering pace. August is a critical readiness month. Stadia, roads, hotels, transport, security, all have to be ready. CAF has already inspected Hoima Stadium with more facilities under scrutiny. Because hosting AFCON requires more than a beautiful pitch and plenty of optimism, delivery is key. Our biggest question this week is, can Uganda pass the August test? In a nutshell, here are the biggest questions for the week ahead. How will Uganda's Gaza mission unfold? What strategies is Uganda deploying for the UN bid? What changed 2 years after Kitezi? What happens next in Besigye's trial? Where are the opportunities behind the Youth Day celebration speeches? Which election victories will survive the courtroom? How is the central bank positioning itself for the future? And will Uganda pass its AFCON readiness test? Keep it locked on all our platforms so you do not miss anything. Have a fantastic week ahead.